I thought it might be quite a nice idea to make a video on boundaries and address this. It's something that, sometimes I see with clients. Sometimes they have really strong boundaries, sometimes they have no boundaries, sometimes they have boundaries but they don't vocalize them. And you might be thinking, well, what is a boundary in everyday life, in a relationship? Is it even good to have boundaries? That doesn't sound nice. And a boundary essentially is this: it's rules and regulations, non-negotiable things that we need in our lives to remain stable. They're priorities that allow us to not only to survive, but to thrive. And these boundaries range from external boundaries and internal boundaries. External boundaries: how do we deserve to be treated by other people? Internal boundaries: what does my personal self-care look like? What are the priorities I need to thrive? And a lot of people don't necessarily have healthy boundaries. And if they do have boundaries, they don't vocalize them. And the problem with that is this: they live chronically in accordance for other people. And that means they're overstepping their boundaries continually. And if you look at it like a scale, like this, like a line, our boundaries are about here, and we hit that, and that's our boundary. Now, when we hit our boundary, we don't want to go over. But if we have our boundary overstepped, especially if we continually have our boundary overstepped, we enter no man's land. There's no rules there. We've gone past the rules and regulations, we've gone past the boundaries, and we end up in no man's land. And the only other place, the last destination we get to after that, is our limit. We're backed into a corner, and that's where things get said, things get done that are mean, that we regret, that we don't wish we said, and that's where the regrettable stuff happens. And that's why it's so important to have our boundary and not have that overstepped and enter no man's land and eventually hit our limit. So the question might be, how do I then set boundaries? Well, in order to set boundaries, I first must identify what my boundaries are. And remember, the boundaries are rules, regulations, non-negotiable priorities that I need in my life in order to survive and thrive. So you start by making a list. What are all the things that I need in life in order to thrive? So it might be like, well, every single week, a few times a week, I need to be able to see my friends, or I need to be able to talk to my friends. Or it might be, I quite enjoy going on walks, and I really love that. That really recharges my battery. Or it could be that I need to go to the gym several times a week, and that makes me feel good. These are all non-negotiable priorities. I need these things in my life. So once you've made a list of all the non-negotiable priorities, the things that give to you, off of those things, you want to put the reasons why they're so good, what they do for you, what your life looks like with them in. What does the gym do for you? What does socializing with friends do for you? And what's it like when you go for walks? What does life look like because of that? And after asking ourselves, why do I need these things in my life? What do they do for my life? And once you've listed all of that out, what you also want to do is then take these lists of these things, and next to them, put what would happen if you didn't have these things in your life. So what would it look like in my life if I didn't have the gym? What would my life look like if I didn't regularly speak to my friends? What would that look like? And then you have these two lists. You have one list, which is all my priorities, all my rules and regulations, how I deserve to be spoken to, what kind of relationship I require with other people, what kind of self-care I require, whatever it is. And then next to it, all the reasons why these are good things for my life, why they allow my life to thrive. And then you have the other list, which is if I didn't have these things, if people could just treat me how they wanted to treat me, and if I didn't sort of go to the gym, and if I didn't regularly see friends or go for walks, what my life would look like as well. And what that does is it emphasizes just how important these priorities are for you, and it emphasizes the importance of them as a boundary. And if they're challenged, then it helps with our understanding as to why this is something that cannot be negotiated. And it might well be the case. It might be the case that sometimes we do need to, have a little bit of leeway and a tiny bit of negotiations and have our boundaries slightly overstepped every now and then. We might be putting ourselves out for somebody. We might not necessarily find that time to go to the gym every now and then if we are helping somebody else or doing that. That's fine. But we just want to make sure that our boundaries aren't chronically being overstepped. And that's a really, really key point. So I hope this video towards boundaries helps you map out boundaries, whether it be in your relationships, your friendships, or just your interpersonal relationship as well. Okay, so take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to hearing what your feedback is on this. Take care, guys. Bye for now.